Hello everybody and welcome again to another Suite tutorial. Now in the previous tutorial I showed you how to inject microservices within your Suite project. However, in this tutorial I'm going to show you something very important, some deep concepts related to file systems, to Yarn that Suite leverages to be able to offer this or somehow deliver very sophisticated functionality within your project. And you may be wondering just how some things work like that, and this is where I'm going to answer that. Now you've realized, or maybe if you haven't yet, let's go into one of the microservices and see what libraries we are using within Suite users within your microservice. So I will take maybe the scheduler service, and then let's go inside one of the maybe folders of files like index.js. Now, if you've realized, we have these at suite demo slash config, suite demo slash errors, suite demo slash utilities. Now, one thing about this, these are actually workspaces within Yarn. Now, when you're using Yarn, Yarn has a concept called workspaces. If you're interested, you might go look them up. Now, they are very powerful concepts because that is actually the architecture that Suite is built on top to deliver very complex functionality within this project. And the reason is, like, this is in local development, but we never installed any library called suite demo slash config. However, when you go to package.json, we have such a library, and it's right here. And you may be wondering where this library is coming from. Now, if you look up maybe on npm, you are not able to find such a library because it doesn't exist, but somehow our project works. Now, the reason our project is working is because of another concept called sim linking, and the combined together with the workspaces of Yarn, we are able to deliver this sophisticated functionality. So Yarn is able to identify. Okay, there's another folder I'll show you down here. It's called shared. Now, shared in open source is what they refer to. It's synonymous to the library folder of open source. Now, any open source library for npm, if you Google and check any open source project, they usually have a library called, or rather, a directory on the root called library. Library is where all the shared files live that can be used anywhere within the project, can be called anywhere within the project. And for me, that folder, because of my, to make it custom and sort of to make it signature to Suite, I decided to rename that uh, directory as shared, so that it is very intuitive. Looking at it, you can already tell that, yeah, these are shared somehow. So there is some sharing concept here. Now that means, like, so in here is where our reusable functionality or utilities live. So we have a broker that can be used within, every microservice requires a broker. So that's where we write our broker logic. Right now we are supporting RabbitMQ, and we have config, and we have middlewares, we have utilities and errors. So these are usually cross-cutting concerns within our project that we live in here. And if you want to extend, you can still go ahead and create one more library and add it to this folder. This library should be available globally, and you can call it anywhere within your project the same way it's been called within this scheduler microservice. Now, how Yarn is able to find it, it is because of the workspaces concept. Now, workspaces uses symbolic links. Now, whenever you define your workspaces, this is how you define them in Yarn. You go to your root project. Now, under the root project, you have another package JSON. In here, you'll find workspaces defined. This is because of Yarn. So under workspaces, we have two keys. One is packages and another one is no hoist. Now, packages is where you define all the workspaces that you will support within your project. You can have as many as you want, but for me, and most projects will have two, and which one should be a library, and the other one now will be where your other functionality lives. For me, the library, I renamed it to shared, and then the microservices is where my microservices will live, the core of the project, which are microservices. These are the ones that are going to consume these libraries, or the shared libraries under the shared folder. So anything that you put under shared and microservice will be considered a workspace as long as you have put package JSON inside. So everything under here will have a package JSON, payment will have its own package JSON, and that's what makes them um, workspaces. So if you want to learn more again about Yan's workspaces and symbolic links, please look them up. Symbolic link now is a concept that is native to OSs, or rather file systems. Every file system, including Windows and Linux, for Windows and Linux support symbolic links. Now, to show you just a rough idea of what a symbolic link is, a symbolic link is a link that points to some other file within the system, so from another place. So like for example, here we have node modules, and when you go here, you'll find a package called suiteDemo. SuiteDemo is a symbolic link because this one is not available anywhere online, but it is pointing, see that arrow, and it is even written here, if you look at the description, symbolic link, get. So that symbolic link is pointing to our file here, which is the shared file. So those are things that are very core to Yarn. And if you want to learn about such deep concepts, just look them up there in Yarn documentation. And then symbolic links are sort of something that is to do with file systems. You can look them up as well. They are very interesting, and they have been extensively used here in a very sophisticated way to deliver very smooth and sophisticated functionality. And then there's another concept that goes further that is we use within Suite, is called no hoisting feature. Now, no hoisting again is another concept of Yarn. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's a very powerful concept. You might, if you're curious, go look it up, and you'll begin understanding why we are using it within Suite. Not many people use no hoisting. In fact, there's not much documentation. It's only Yarn themselves that I've seen write a documentation about no hoisting, and maybe a few Stack Overflows over here and there. But the moment you understand what no hoisting does, you can deliver very powerful functionality combined with symbolic links and Yarn workspaces. So I think that was a mouthful, and let's head direct to the reason for this video. Now, in this video, I wanted to show you that we are able to run commands like to run the vanilla version of Suite, which is usually start or rather Suite start in using the -v. So Suite start -v, the microservices themselves. So this vanilla is possible to run all microservices in vanilla mode. Vanilla mode means you're not running them in Docker. This is just language that is sort of native to Suite. So if you run vanilla mode, it just means in our language you're not running it in Docker, you are not running it with Kubernetes. Now, to do that, it is possible to be able to reach files like this suiteDemo because of the things I'm telling you, symbolic links and Yarn workspaces and no hoisting features. So maybe in another video I'll cover those concepts if you want me to, but in this case, we are able to run everything successfully without errors because it is able to point from this index.js to the shared folder. You see, if you hover on it, it is pointing to the shared folder. How it knew about it, it is because of the workspaces and the symbolic links I told you about. Now, from here, it means you can run any service, and like you see, they connected successfully. However, if we were to ship this inside the Docker is going to error because, and I'm going to show you how. So if you go inside your microservice, every microservice comes with a Docker file, and you know Docker file will just define the base image, and then we are going to define our work directory. Then we are going to copy from this context package JSON and then put it inside our work directory. After it is there, then we run yarn install on the next step, which is going to look into the package JSON and install everything there. Now, at this stage, what will happen? Let's look at our package JSON that we will have copied. We'll have copied all this into our, we'll have copied all these dependencies. I want to look at the dependencies inside our image, and then it will be able to install Mongoose, PM2, Morgan, Mongoose, and the rest of the libraries that are on NPM successfully. However, it will break when it comes to these because these are not in upstream, okay? These are not upstream, they're not published anywhere in our NPM registry. So that will error inside your image because Docker at that time does not have, by that stage, it doesn't have those libraries, or it doesn't know where they are. So if you want to, one way to fix that is we could have maybe copied before here another stage to copy things from the shared directory. Okay, so we could have a copy stage that copies the shared directory, and we will point it to the shared directory for sure. We will say maybe slash dash, maybe we'll have to go back, okay, point it to where the shared directory is, and then after we copy the shared directory somewhere maybe outside this, because similarly that is how, so outside that root, that app directory. So then if we copy these and then run yarn install using symbolic links again, because this image has yarn in it, it is going to find them. However, we don't want to do that because we don't want our image to be bloated. Sometimes not all the shared libraries are required within your Docker image. So like I'm saying, you could have the broker here and you could extend this and add more libraries. So as these libraries grow, they will grow because they are needed somewhere within your project, and you want to keep them outside because they are reusable. Now it means it doesn't mean that if you put here some library, it is must be used by a microservice you want to run. It could be your microservice just picking a few, and if you look on index.js here for sure, you can see we are only taking config errors, utilities, and utilities, the three, and maybe yeah, actually those, and maybe the broker. But when you come to the shared itself, you see it has a little bit more. It has middlewares that we are not even using here. So if you go with this, you are going to copy things you are not needing in your project, and then you're going to have a lot of unused code, and you're just going to grow the image size for nothing. So to avoid that, what we do is we decide to only copy everything within here, and then any shared file is published to npm. So you publish to npm, and after you publish to npm is available as a library just like any other in this package JSON, like Mongoose, Morgan. And then so once they are there, the moment you run that command to yarn install at this stage, yarn is going to look in, the first thing is going to look locally. If it misses that, it is going to go to npm, the registry, and then it will locate that, and then because it's published, and then it is going to install successfully and copy the rest of the files in the root and run your development environment or whichever. So uh, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can be able to publish your libraries to npm so that they are ready for building your Docker images. How do we do that? I'll kill my server, and then I'll show you. Suite has a feature called suite release. It has a command called suite release. Now suite release is a command that helps you streamline your release strategy. It is a very easy to use command. You don't need to do anything, you just need to know your library name, and that's it. So the command to run in this case is suite release, and then you define the you tell it the library to publish. So I will say you want to publish broker, and this is good because as you make changes to your library, you can also version control them and publish them like that, and it's going to publish them to your npm registries, and you can be able to introduce changes, and people can even, third parties can even use your libraries if they're good enough, or if they offer functionality or they offer value. And in this case, we are going to see, you see, so the broker, we can check that the broker here is at version 1.01. So it already has predicted that probably it has already generated some, possible releases that you can deploy. And for us, dispatch. And for us, I will just bump that number to 2. So let's accept that. And then we see how it releases easily. And you see, it's already bumped the number and it's publishing to npm. And voila, it has already published. However, how does it know where to publish in the registry? Because for sure, this is not going into the public npm registry. To do that, you need to have an organization called suiteDemo on your in the registry that is owned by you, and then you log in, you authenticate yourself, so that when you're publishing, you publish to your account. So when you go to your npm, you can come to organizations, which is here. The moment you click on it, it will bring you here, and then these are the organizations. Rather, when you go to your account, it will bring you to your organizations. So this is our suiteDemo organization. and your library will be published here. And since we just, and as you can see, we have 18 minutes ago we published version 1.01 of config. Let us check. We just released version 1.02 of actually this is broker, yeah, version 1.2 of broker. So let's head over to broker. You see this is 1.2 and is 1.02 and showing is just a few seconds ago. So this is how you can be able to publish your, make your libraries live, and then you can require them within your Docker image. And if you're wondering how to create an organization within npm, again, is not the focus of this video, but you just need to click on add, and then you give it a name, and then you create, and that is it. So I thought you needed to know that, so that you understand how suiteCLI works under the hood, so that you can have proper understanding and take advantage of its powerful features to deliver very useful functionality within your microservices. You should be confident now to use suiteCLI to create even reusable code and share within different projects, within different applications, within your microservices, within your project. So having said that, I think I will stop the video right here, and then when we come next, I'll be showing you now how to create, now that we are able to package a Docker image. I've shown you how to package, or rather to prepare for packaging a Docker image. The next time I'll be showing you how to create a suite application, and then we are going to run it using inside of Docker. So thank you so much for staying this far, and see you in my next video. Okay, adios.